Okay, hello everyone and welcome to the first in our Lunchtime Webinar Series, Baseline Use of Yorkshare. My name's Rosie Hare and I'm in the e-learning development team, and we're going to be running a series of these sessions throughout the academic year on different topics. So this first one is actually based on section 1 of our York Technology Enhanced Learning Handbook. Now this is a resource we've created for staff at the university, and there's a link there. It's available on our website, and it's a resource that we've created to help staff who teach as much as possible, to help them embed more technology into their teaching and learning, and just give some ideas of best practice and recommended practice that works really well for this. So this session is a brief overview of section 1. Obviously after this you can go and consult the handbook, and that goes a lot more in depth into the things that I'm covering today, and also has a lot of the technical guidance as well, links to how to actually do these things. So as part of this session it is more of an overview. I'm not going to go too in depth in terms of the technical side, but if you do have any technical queries at the end we can go through that, and I can point you in the direction of further resources as well. So for this session, there are 3 main takeaways that I'm hoping that you'll get from this session, and it's all to do with a kind of minimum standard baseline use of the VLE that makes it better for you as staff members to get things set up, and for your students as well. So the first one is the accessibility of the module and the key content that we recommend that you include in every module site on the VLE. The importance of clear module structure, we'll touch on that, and how easy it is for students and other staff members to navigate, because that's very important. And again, we'll touch on the importance of communication and providing clear instructions on the material that's there. So they're the 3 main things that we're going to touch on today, and I'm happy to answer any further questions at the end. So firstly, we'll look at the module structure and key content. This screenshot here, this is from an example site that we recommend, and we show this as a kind of best practice of how to lay out your module site. So you can see here there's a clear structure on the left. We've got announcements, module outline, module leaders, resource list. Everything on this left menu is what we recommend that you have some information on. And assessments down at the bottom there. And you can see from this lectures and seminars section here, the site structure represents the module structure itself. So this is a module that runs with weekly lectures and then seminars. There's other ways to do this if you don't want to lay out your site in this way. I know some departments have it week by week, so you might list week 1, week 2, week 3. It all just depends on how you want to lay out that particular module, but if it reflects the taught structure, the face-to-face sessions, it has that connection then between the online and the face-to-face, so it gives the students, it kind of makes sense to them, and it isn't just a random list of things that they don't understand how to navigate. Again, at the start of term, this is we get at this a lot because as part of the rollover with new VLE sites, all the sites are always set as unavailable initially. That gives the staff time to change things, to update the information, put the new module outline, new handbook, anything like that. So if you do get any queries from students, or you click into one of your VLE sites that you're using, just make sure that if it says course unavailable in the top left hand corner, you just click down into properties, customization properties, and click to make that available. That's the one thing that we always ask staff to do. We don't actually do that and make sites unavailable. We leave that up to staff because it's up to them to make sure it's ready. We don't want to make something ready if staff aren't ready to present that information to students. But again, going back to that clear structure and making the site available, first impressions here are vitally important, because the VLE site is often the first place that students will come into contact with module content. It could be that you have some extra keen students who are logging into this before the first session, the first face-to-face session has actually taken place. So you would want your site to be designed in such a way that someone who has no idea about the module can find content quickly. So it's clearly labelled, they know where to go. Again, that applies if you might be teaching on a module that involves more than one member of staff. So again, designing your site in such a way that it's really easy to navigate, it means that everyone can find the information that they need. And we'll touch on this a little bit later on as well, but managing student expectations with clear communication and instructions within the site, that can mitigate from you getting a lot of emails of confused students asking questions. If there's clear information in the site, hopefully they'll know exactly what's expected and exactly where they need to go for that information. And as you can see, this is another screenshot from that example site that we were talking about there. So in that lectures section, you can see it's clearly broken down week by week. It's very clear which number week it is and the topic. And the clear file names as well. This is something that is excellent for everybody concerned, because if you've got any students that are using screen reading software, if they've got a visual impairment, if your files are labelled really clearly, then their screen reading software reads out exactly what that is, rather than it reading just something like Lecture 1 PowerPoint. That doesn't really mean that much at all, and they would have to then click into that to find out what it is. Whereas if you've named it exactly as that topic, it just means that it's very clear to everyone concerned what that is. And again, from that same example site, we've got the seminars are again broken down week by week. And sometimes you might have more than one bit of information for a particular week, or you need to put in a bit more. So they've used folders here to break that up. And then you can see this on the right here, week 3. This is inside one of the folders. So there's, again, clear topic, any attached files, and this bit here is vitally important, some clear instructions about what exactly the lecturer wants the students to do with this information. Because I think it can be quite tempting sometimes to just upload some files, and if they've been in the face-to-face session, it's easy to just think, oh, they'll know exactly what to do, but quite often it's just that extra scaffolding, that extra bit of clear information, and the students know exactly what to do with the stuff that's in the VLE, and it doesn't just become a repository for documents. We do emphasise regular and relevant communication on VLE sites, and the announcements are absolutely great for this. You can see here any announcements that, I'll see if I can draw on the screen here with my pen. This line here that says new announcements appear below this line. If you want to, you can set an announcement in your VLE site and then drag it above this line, and this will always stay here. So this will act as a permanent announcement at the top of your module. So you can use this for, if you could put your learning objectives for the particular module in there, and then they're always there. As you can see with this one here, this was a welcome message to the site, and we always recommend putting something like this for when those students who might log in before they've attended any sessions. It acts as that first impression, and it shows that a member of staff has been active in the site. It shows that it hasn't just been abandoned, if you like. Someone has been in, they're active, they've left some instructions on what to do, and it just makes that connection again, like I mentioned before, the connection between the face-to-face and the online content. So we really recommend doing this at the start of the year especially. It just makes it a bit more welcoming, I suppose. Next one, sorry about that. Again, going back to that slide that I first shown you about the key content, just a little reminder of everything that is listed here is the kind of the baseline that we would expect to be included in a site. So we've got the information, module outline, module leaders again is the contact, an assessment. So this is vitally important because you're likely that there's going to cause a lot of questions at the start of the year. So clear information in that section, again, stops students, well, hopefully stops them from getting stressed out, and they know a little bit more about what's expected of them on this particular module. And hopefully it means that they're a bit more engaged because they know exactly where to find the information. And hopefully it works. So again, this was a very short presentation, but going back to those 3 main takeaways, the accessibility of the site and having that key content is crucial for an effective VLE site. Having the clear structure on the left-hand side makes it much easier for staff and students to navigate and find the stuff that they need. And again, having some communication in there, sending out announcements periodically. You could have a permanent announcement there as a sticky announcement to introduce yourself. But again, every week, a couple of weeks, if you are just posting an announcement of new information, you could say, right, I've uploaded the lectures from week 3. You can find them in the lecture section. And any instructions as well. So regular communication in a VLE site just shows that there is someone there, there's a member of staff actually contributing. And we've got some links here that go a bit more in depth into what I've covered today. So we've got a start of term guide for staff, and don't worry, I will share these links in the chat box as well, so you'll be able to access them and add them to favourites if you want to. So we've got a start of term guide for staff, which just has some step-by-step things of setting your site up. The handbook that I mentioned, this is something that it's a very big resource. It's not designed to kind of be read in one go, but it's something that you can go back to. We've got a link there for any of our technical guides for any of the things that I've mentioned to show you how to set things up. And again, I'll link to our website there. And if you ever want to contact us for any technical problems, it's vle-support@york.ac.uk. I will, for those who are in the live session at the moment, I'll put these links in the chat box for you so you can access them. You don't have to scribble them down in a rush. So that's actually it from me in terms of the official presentation part. And I just thought for the rest of the session, if you've got any questions or you want to have a chat about anything to do with your VLE sites, I'm happy to help. So for this part, I'll stop the recording for now. Thank you very much for listening. And we'll hope to see you again soon at one of our sessions.